everyone. My name is Layla Janti.
And I'm Marcus Rosati.
And this is Passport Necessary, a podcast dedicated to growing up as a TCK and how it's affecting us now as adults. And today we are going to be talking about celebrating birthdays. Selfishly, it is because this is around my birthday, so I thought it would be very fun to talk about. So Marcus, what would you say was, okay, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what would you say was your favorite birthday celebration?
Wow, I don't really remember. I can't think exactly. I think I had more fun when I was a child, but I think it tended to... I think I kind of enjoyed people's birthdays generally, if you know what I mean. I don't think I had like a favourite one for me. I just kind of like remember it being sort of like a very good family time, particularly, you know, when whoever's had the birthday, like it was always that day was kind of like, you know, there was something done for the person and all that sort of stuff. So it was a family event, which it was quite nice. And then always there would end up being a party or something like that at some point during the week or nearby when the birthday was happening. So that, it was, yeah, just generally kind of a family event. And it was always something kind of like a bit, you know, quite a lot of fun. That's how I remember it as a child. I can't think of a specific one. I mean, is there one for you that you particularly remember?
I think one from when I was, if we're going to differentiate between being a kid and being an adult, I definitely remember, I can't remember the exact year, but I remember the birthday. It was the party specifically, not like the day of my birthday. I remember the birthday party. My brother, he's born Christmas Eve. So we almost always did our birthday parties together. That way we could have my friends and his friends come together. Because a lot of the times, you know, when you travel, you don't build huge groups of friends. You build smaller groups that are very intensely like, these are my friends. So I remember, and you were there, so that's why I'm going to bring it up. But it is genuinely one of my favorite birthday parties we ever threw for my brother and I. We were living in Japan. It was, I think, in April or May, and we invited some of his friends, some of my friends, and we had a pool party because on the compound that we lived on, there was a pool, and it was so much fun. We had like snack food. I think my parents made pizza. We went swimming the whole time, and I vividly remember this. You did not bring a swimsuit. And all my other friends, like, we were in swimsuits, we were having fun, and we were like, you can come in, like, we'll lend you a swimsuit, we'll figure it out. And you were like, no, it's okay. And then we all got out of the pool, we're all like chilling, hanging around outside, and then all of a sudden we just hear this giant splash. We all turn and look, and you were just in the middle of the pool in all of your clothes soaking wet. And we were like, why did you do that? And I remember all of us putting all of our food down and immediately running and joining you in the pool.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, Jesus, that does sound like something I would do.
And I remember because that was when you were still doing your full mohawk. And so you had like your full mohawk. I'd never seen you with curly hair until when you got out of the pool and your hair was drying, because I'd only ever seen you with the mohawk. So it was really surprising where I was like, oh my gosh, you have curly hair. What's going on? It was a great birthday.
About that. Yeah. Oh dear. That was,
That was a great birthday party.
Yeah. That just sounds like something I would do though. It's just like, yeah, it'd be a laugh. It'd be all right. I mean, the thing is, you've got to remember that.
I do remember asking you, I was like, did you take your phone out of your pocket? And you were like, yeah, I did. It was like, okay, just...
I've planned this. It's all right. I've thought this through.
It was so much fun. I think that's probably my favorite birthday party as a kid.
I mean, certainly the thing is that, you know, in that kind of weather, if it's April time, it's not too hot, but it's not cold. I mean, it's definitely warm enough that you can sort of pull off a stunt like that and be fine. It's not like if like it was in Britain and you did it in April, you'd just be going, what the hell?
Yeah.
It could potentially not be very good for you, but I mean...
you would freeze your clothes.
Yeah. Not quite that bad, but, you know, it would be deeply unpleasant. Like, it would not be worth the excitement of the initial thing of seeing somebody falling into a pool. It's just like, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
I remember
I
that,
loved
yeah.
that. I think that's probably one of my favorite birthday parties I've ever had for my brother and I. But yeah, I just have a lot of memories of, for the birthday, it was always small family. We would have maybe cake a lot of the times for me because I'm gluten free, and we would go to other countries, so they didn't always have gluten free options. My mom would either bake something from scratch for me, or a lot of times we would also have pies. I remember usually we would get to decide what we had for dinner, so that was like the birthday person gets to pick what we eat. I almost always would ask for a duck because I love duck. And we would open one or two presents. We would hang out. Usually we would play some sort of board game with the family. And then that was kind of it. Like nothing really crazy, because both my brother and I, for most of the schools that we went to, definitely for my brother, sometimes for me, we weren't in school. So there was always for me, sometimes depending on the school and when their spring semester started, I might have been in school, but sometimes I wasn't. So celebrating at school wasn't very common for me. It was a lot more, we would have the birthday party together, my brother and I, invite our friends, have them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have good memories about them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's trying to think when things had happened. I mean, I remember like there were a couple of occasions, like, because my birthday, in terms of like having time off, like certainly in the first school I was in, because the school followed the way the Japanese holidays and national holidays fell. So my birthday always fell on the national holiday for the celebration of the autumn equinox. Because in Japan they have that, so it's a national holiday on the 23rd of September. So I always get that. I used to always get that day off. But one of the other fun ones is because my dad was born in April. On occasion, his birthday would fall on Easter, which was always fun. So you could do both, because obviously it's a lunar event, Easter. So the thing is, it shifts year to year. I'm not sure when it is this year. I'll have to find out.
I don't know.
Sure I did.
I should also look at when Mardi Gras is, because that's going to be a big thing for me. I celebrate Mardi Gras every year, and I need to look at when the lunar calendar is going to make it fall.
I don't know how it works. But yeah, that was one of the weird ones. I don't know how many times it's happened to him, but like it happened several times in his lifetime that his birthday's fallen on Easter, which is always quite good fun. I don't know, it's just one of those weird things. He just pointed it out. He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. That's and then, and also then my youngest brother was born the day after my mother's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So they had their birthdays right next door to, obviously, the one after the other. So that was always kind of interesting, as they both happened at the same time. So that was interesting. That would be good, because I can't remember how they worked that, because if he was having a party, I don't know what my mum was going to do. Because my mum liked to have parties as well and stuff like that for that sort of thing, and my dad had them as well. It's kind of nice, because sometimes, you'd have the thing like sort of, maybe if like your younger brother's birthday fell sort of like somewhere in the week which is a school day, you'd end up having sort of like a celebration with the family, which is very nice. And then you would also have like a party for them on the weekend. I think we usually did the weekend after. I'm not sure why in my head that's how it worked, but I think that because then you are definitely the age you're supposed to be for this birthday. We don't have to argue about it.
You're not doing it in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
So my family has kind of a weird series of birthdays where my mom is born in September, my brother is Christmas Eve, I'm end of January, and then my dad is born on Valentine's Day. So it's like boom, boom, boom. We're all three one after the other. And then my partner is 2 days after my dad. So it's kind of, I know we'll talk about Valentine's Day one day, but it's always been one of those things where it's very weird for me to celebrate Valentine's Day, because in the back of my head I'm like, that's my dad's birthday. So my partner and I definitely, since we started dating, we kind of just skip Valentine's Day entirely. Like, I'll wish my dad a happy birthday and all that stuff, but we don't really do anything, because 2 days later it's my partner's birthday, and that's what I focus on more. It's like, I don't really care about the Valentine's Day because your birthday is coming, and that's more important to me.
That makes more sense. It's kind of a nice thing, though. It's just, I don't know. It kind of gets you out of doing the kind of cheesy stuff for Valentine's Day, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
I don't mind people doing it, but I mean, it seems a little. It seems little bit. I don't know.
It is a little cheesy. It is a little cheesy when you think about it.
It's just a bit sort of. I mean, it's fine if that's what people want to do. There's nothing wrong with it. But you do kind of go, it's like, what? People used to say that. Is you doing anything for Valentine's Day? No.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's very, like, I honestly don't really think about it because I'm so focused on getting things ready for my partner. I want to surprise him because he's so good at surprising me that I'm like, I want to get his birthday right. I want to do it the right way. So I try to get the right birthday presents. I try and surprise him. I want to like cook, like I've a couple times cooked dinner for him. I cook all the time, but like it's usually something special. So I've made lasagna a couple of times because he loves a well-made homemade lasagna. Usually what I'll do is I'll actually make it the day before because lasagna the next day is way better. So usually I'll make it on the 15th and then on the 16th, that's when it's like, don't eat this. Wait until your birthday and then we'll have lasagna.
It will be worth the wait.
Exactly. We usually, now that I've been dating my partner as an adult, so switching gears, going to like celebrating birthdays as adults.
Yeah.
Now, since I've been dating my partner, I definitely think we've gone out for my birthday. Just because my partner doesn't really cook. If it's a weekend, he'll make breakfast, which is very sweet. Yeah. And actually quite good. He does eggs amazingly. But we usually go out for dinner for my birthday. And he's very sweet because he knows that I'm gluten-free. So instead of, getting whatever dessert they have there, he'll usually secretly go out, find a gluten-free treat for me, and then will surprise me with it when we get home or like earlier in the day. It's so sappy and cute, but I love it.
But yeah, it's your day though, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's lovely. It's one of those things where you're like, I don't need that, and then it happens. You're like, I needed that.
Yeah.
Other than
what me you shouldn't have.
Oh no.
That kind of thing, isn't it?
I think the other thing that I've enjoyed as an adult, I think, because it's so big here in the States, is your 21st birthday. That's when you're legally allowed to drink within the US. And a lot of people treat that as like a very big birthday, which I think I don't know if it's the same way in England with 18. Is that treated as like a really big, important birthday?
It is, but like a lot of the other ones are sort of like the way the law works in Britain is that things are kind of introduced slowly as to what you are and not what you are legally entitled to be able to do. So alcohol is not like you turn 18, you are then allowed to go and buy alcohol by yourself, essentially, without having to, like. But there are rules that say, if you are in a pub and you are having a meal and you are with a responsible adult, you are entitled to have a certain amount of alcohol. When you're under supervision, you are allowed to do that. Once you're 18, you can do what you want. 18, I think, is a bigger number for people because that's like really like pretty much a sort of the sense of the coming of age in Britain. I know that in Japan it's 21. 21 is the big one. Yeah. The other fun one I just remembered about Japan is that because of the way the zodiac works, so you have your animal and then your element. Once you've gone through, as you go through each element, you get sort of like special birthdays. So every 12 years is a special birthday. So 12 years old, you've gone through one cycle.
24.
Then the next one, 24.
Yeah.
So you got your 21st and then your 24th is important.
Yeah, there's like special ones. There's like specific birthdays in Japan that have a very special meaning to them. Which I wish I could have done that when I was just too young to have one of those special birthdays while I was living there. I remember when I was in Paris, because I turned 18 when I was in Paris, that was kind of a big deal-ish because it was like, okay, now you're an adult. In France, it's legal for you to drink. Not that, I mean, I would have alcohol with my parents at the table before that. Yeah. But in the States, it's 21 and it's like a strict 21. I mean, people drink underage all the time in the States. They have friends who are older and it just happens. But I remember turning 21 And I remember me thinking about it like, it's not that big of a deal. It'll be fine. And I didn't have any plans. Like, I'd kind of texted one or two friends while I was at school. And I was like, hey, what are you up to? They're all like, I'm kind of busy. Like, okay, whatever. My plan was, honestly, I was going to go home, watch Star Trek, maybe eat some like gluten-free box cake, and then like go to bed. Like, I really wasn't going to do anything crazy. But I remember one or two friends saying, yeah, I'm free. Let's like hang out. So we hung out at my apartment, had a drink, and then my friends were like, oh, let's like go out and get dinner. Our treat. But first I want to stop at my friend's apartment. I forgot my coat, and I'm super naive. So I was like, yeah, that would be great. Let's go. So I followed them. We're going to my friend's apartment. They were like, okay, Layla, you go ahead. So I opened the door. I was like, this is weird and dark. What's going on? And then all of a sudden the lights turned on and all these people jumped out of everywhere. I was like, what is going on? They were like, surprise. It was the first time I'd ever had a surprise birthday party. Aww. It was so sweet. It was really fun. I remember the whole time being like, I'm not going to have too much to drink because I want to remember every second of this. And it was a great time. Like, it really was. It was just hanging out with my school friends, having fun, playing games, and just like having a lovely time. I vividly remember just like enjoying every second of that night.
That does sound good, actually.
It does. I know some people, when they have their 21st in the States, there's like horror stories where for some people it's like the first time that they really go hard and like drink because it's like, I'm legal, so I can do whatever I want. And they get just like wasted to the point of being sick. Yeah. But I was like, specifically in my head, it was like, I've had alcohol before. I have had, like, I've been legal since I was 18 when I was living in France. I didn't really drink that often in the States anyway. So I was like, you know what? It's not about the drinking for me. It's the fact that my friends see this as special enough that they want to spend the night with me. That's what I'm going to enjoy. And it was really fun. Plus that
does sound good.
So I was a theater kid. A lot of my friends are theater kids, and there's a very like, almost like manic energy when theater kids party together. I like don't know how to explain, because a lot of theater kids are, they may be it's not social awkwardness. It's this like, I'm an extrovert, and I think a lot of theater kids feel like they have to be extroverts too, even if they might be introverts. So there's this very interesting dynamic when you party with theater kids where everyone's kind of loud and boisterous and they want to like have a lot of energy and really like make it a party. And it's definitely fun, but after a while you're like, we can also chill out. Like, we can just sit and chat and be calm, but it's theater parties are always kind of insane.
It does sound like they probably are.
There are a lot. I've been to a couple theater parties where about 2 shots in, people are already singing Rent, and it's like, I don't need this tonight, and I will leave. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun, but there are some nights where you're like, I can't listen to another Rent song. I don't want to listen to Phantom of the Opera. I'm out of here.
No. Yeah.
It sounds
just
so
somebody
callous,
comes out wearing a mask with an organ.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past a theater kid. We're out of our minds.
No, I can believe that.
What would you say was like a really good, as an adult, birthday party?
You see, I don't know. I don't remember many of them. Like, not in that way. Because they've kind of been non-events. I think it's because I always take the time off deliberately. But then I never end up actually doing very much. I think it's just, I quite like the idea of just being quite relaxed. I think it's partly because I think the thing is that because a lot of these things were family events when I was a child, it doesn't feel the same. You know, I think that's part of it. And also I've moved around a lot when I've been an adult as well. So I think the thing is it's difficult because you're moving around, so things aren't quite settled. I don't.
Oh, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for me having my partner, I probably wouldn't do anything for my birthday. Or if I did, it would be super small. Like, he's the one who makes it an event. Because this is like a question he always has for me. He's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I just want to hang out. I don't want to do anything crazy. He always plans something fun. He always has an activity, but legitimately, if it was up to me, I wouldn't do anything. Not because I don't want to, but I'm so busy a lot of the time. Not this year, but a lot of the times I'm usually so busy. The last thing I'm thinking of is what I'm going to do on my birthday.
Yeah, exactly. It's a funny one, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of, I suppose, yeah, I hope, well, I mean, this year was kind of a bit of 2020 was a bit of a disaster. I mean, I did spend some time with a friend, but the problem is that her cat had kittens. So the problem is that you're kind of going, whatever you do, don't step on a kitten.
Oh, God.
Whatever you do, don't step on a kitten.
Oh, no.
I mean, because they're small, and the problem is that because you're having your birthday and everything like that, so there's always a bit of alcohol, so you're like, but you're still sitting there, don't step on a kitten. And these kittens, for whatever reason, love feet.
Oh, God.
So they're just there, getting themselves ready to be trodden on. He's going, Jesus Christ, please don't. I mean, it was fun. It was nice having like 4 kittens running around, but you're really like there just going, oh, God, don't step on a kitten.
Don't step on a kitten.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's entirely what you're thinking. That was a good one, but I think like next year, the thing is I'm definitely, well, 2021, definitely, if things have got better, I was kind of like thinking, as everybody should just like go out and have a massive party and just like we'll just have one day where we all kind of go, yeah, it's all our birthdays today.
That's actually a really good idea.
Because the thing is that like I would expect that at least in Britain, until at least halfway through this year, we're still going to have quite a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. I mean, the government sort of said, we'll be all right by the 5th of April. When the government in Britain says something's going to be all right by this date, add an extra 6 months.
I think that's true for a lot of countries.
No, yeah, but I mean, that's the way it's been, is that they say they're going to do one thing and then 2 weeks later they change their minds.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the crisis has been pretty big, but I just kind of think, if we just had a day where everybody said, yeah, it's everybody's birthday today, and we're all going to go out, we're going to have a good time, we'll just put all the money into a big pot, go out and have a big meal or something like that. I think that would be a good idea.
I think that would be lovely. I honestly think that would be so nice. Like, for me personally, I would love that. Because it is nice to have like small intimate stuff, like just me and my partner, we'll have dinner, we'll just relax and chill. But it would be kind of nice to all the friends that I haven't seen during quarantine and all of this lockdown that we've been having here in New York. It would be nice when this is over, when we can actually like go out and enjoy ourselves without being afraid.
Yeah.
To go out and actually like have a party. I think that would be really fun.
Because the thing is that, there might be some people the first half of this year who won't be able to have the birthdays in the way that they want them to. Mm-hmm. So it would seem a bit sort of, because I remember with the first lockdown, everyone was going to go, those poor people in May, they're not going to have a good birthday, are they? Yeah, you jinxed it, mate. 6 months later, oh, God, I wish I hadn't made that joke on Facebook. It's not funny anymore, is it?
No.
I think that's the thing is that maybe like it would be nice, because I think there will be people who this year won't have the birthday that they want. Mm-hmm. So what you do is that maybe just like have a collective thing where everybody gets together. I don't know. I just think it would be a nice idea.
I think what would be cute, having a potluck. Like if someone has a house that's big enough, if you don't want to go out and spend the money, if you want to just like stay in but go to someone's house who has a bigger place or they have a big backyard. Mm-hmm. Like you said, pick a day. It's everyone's birthday. Everyone brings a little dish or something and just, have fun. Like, I think that would be a really great way of communally celebrating birthdays that we missed. Because I think that's something we're going to crave when this is over, is that feeling of being together and having a reason to party. Like I know some people, they'll just party no matter what. They don't care. It's a Wednesday. We'll go party. But I think having a celebration that really brings people together, that has a purpose to it, I think would be lovely. Oh, I just thought of this. Do you remember like birthday party games? Like as a kid?
Oh, like Pass the Parcel?
I guess. Yeah. Like
what were some of the other ones?
I remember
treasure hunts.
Yes.
Like
I loved treasure hunt parties. Those were so much fun because I love the like puzzle and trying to figure it out. I remember Pin the Tail on the Donkey. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, did that.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember playing tag. I don't think that's not birthday specific, but I do remember like playing tag on people's birthdays.
Did you do musical chairs?
Yes. Yeah. That, of course, always had that at a birthday party. Did you ever have like a themed birthday party? Do you remember those?
I don't think I ever did. I don't remember if anybody else did. I'm not sure. So my memory for this stuff is very bad.
I don't remember really. I mean, I would have to ask my parents because I don't like personally really remember having themed birthday parties. I know definitely once I became a teenager and an adult, it was like, no, we're not doing that. But I remember my friends having themed parties. Like I remember going to a friend's house and like everything was a pirate or like everything was Lego or whatever. And I remember it being kind of cool and being like, oh wow, that's a great idea. But I think most of the time for us, it was more just like, it's a party. There's a cake, there's food, have fun.
Yeah. I think it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was more relaxed, isn't it, I think. But themes are all right as well. I don't remember actually ever being to a themed party, to be honest.
I do remember one of the other people, like going to someone else's birthday party. I remember one of the most fun birthday parties I went to that was for someone else. I was living in Paris. Our friend told us to come in all white shirts, like plain white t-shirts, and wear pants that you didn't care about. And I was like, okay, whatever. And she called it a color party. And so what we did was we would throw like colored, almost like what you would use during Holi. In Indian culture, there's Holi, which is the celebration of color. And so you would throw colored powder at each other. Similar to that. I don't remember if it was powder or if it was paint, but we got so gross. It must have been paint because it was really hard to wash off. But we just like got covered in paint, like from head to toe, just throwing paint at each other. It was really fun. And then we went on a treasure hunt. So not only did we get soaking wet, covered in paint, we then dried out slightly and then went for a treasure hunt.
That doesn't sound bad, actually.
It was marvelous.
Just as long as somebody didn't get covered in green and then disappear in the bush and nobody found them.
God. Oh my gosh. Just thinking about that made me so nervous. No, I remember us getting covered in like all different colors. Like we just looked like a very bad tie-dye. But it was fun. I do remember it being a lot of fun. And I know that we started off the treasure hunt while it was still light out, but I remember us getting back to my friend's house and it was like pitch dark. There was no light outside. So we all had flashlights and we're like, none of us remember how to get to our friend's house. How do we find her house? So we're like wandering in the dark with flashlights. Like, where do we go? We were in a neighborhood. Like we weren't just in her backyard. We were out and about trying to find these items. And our friend was like, yeah, guys, we'll see you later. I legitimately took us like a half hour trying to find her house.
Oh no.
And this is when I was still like underage in France and none of the people I was hanging out with were drinkers. So we're completely sober, just lost in the middle of a neighborhood we don't know on the outskirts of Paris with flashlights in our hand. That's it.
So you've got no excuses, have you, at that
None.
point? It's like,
We were just lost. But I do remember it being fun.
Yeah, that does sound good, actually. Yeah.
I remember...
That does sound like a fun party.
Was it I don't know if it was your birthday, but I do remember going to your house once and because you lived in the mountains and you were like, yeah, come over, we'll hang out. I can't remember if it was for your birthday or if it was just because, but I do remember us going for a walk in the mountains and you teaching me how to use a whip. Do you
Jesus
remember
Christ, that just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
It does sound wrong, but I mean, like, you were teaching me how to do, like, whip tricks.
Get the crack.
Yeah, like, I was trying to get it to crack, and you were like, no, this is how you use it. Like, you made it yourself, I think.
I don't remember that.
I vividly
I'm sure that wasn't my
remember
birthday, but I mean, certainly those mountain trail treks definitely did those quite a lot. I remember for one, actually, just a completely different thing, just kind of celebrations. I remember for New Year going camping up there.
Ooh.
That was quite fun. That was a completely different thing. I was up there with my brother because we didn't know what to do, so we kind of, I want to do that. It'd be something different. It was like, yeah, okay, we went. Yeah, I don't think that was my birthday, but again, that does sound like the kind of thing that I would do.
I don't think it was for your birthday, actually. Now that I think about it, but I do remember you teaching me how to crack a whip. Or at least kind of learning how to do it. And then I remember you also teaching me how to do makeup because I had never done makeup before. And I remember you sitting down, you were like, okay, this is how you do it. I was like, there's so many items. What do I do?
No, I think that would have been in the spring. So I don't think that was, no, it wouldn't have been my birthday. Cause, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, September definitely isn't in the spring.
Right. No. You are correct.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't. I'm pretty sure that was in the spring, but I don't remember. I think that might have been the last year I was in school as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it must have been around the time of your birthday party thing then.
Maybe
slightly earlier, but
I think we were just hanging out. I just thought it was your birthday for some reason, but it was a lot of fun. It sounds like I think it was an extravagant day. Definitely. Yeah. I think I've overall had some good birthdays.
Yeah. No, it's. I think it's one of those things that you just don't think about it. When it comes around, you go, oh, yeah. What should I do?
When it's actually put into your memory, you're like, oh, yeah, those have been good.
Yeah. They just come around every year. You just kind of just think, yeah. Of course they come around every year.
And with that, that's the end of our episode. They come every year. Oh my gosh, Marcus. Anyway, we thank you You're so silly. We thank you so much for joining us today. It was really fun talking about birthdays and reminiscing. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us. We're on Twitter at Passport Necessary. It's at PASSPORTNECESS1. You can also leave us a comment and a review. That's absolutely wonderful. We love and appreciate those. And you can find us wherever fine podcasts are played. But until next time, bye.
Bye.